Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all. Horror Clean Slate.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Horror Clean Slate.
Oh, that deserved a wolf howl. Is the wolf howl your version of a vuvuzela?
Mm-hmm.
You find joy and then that goes off?
We're recording this as the World Cup is happening, so that instead of a vuvuzela, I just have an old recording of a werewolf or just a regular wolf howling in the distance, which is, of course, one of the hallmarks of horror.
Yeah.
These are all quick horror topics that have been submitted. And as our guest to help us discern these things is our good friend, comedian, writer, and filmmaker who has a new film, Dead Media, that is making the rounds. He's mastering horror comedy for all of us. Joseph Scrimshaw. Welcome back, Joseph.
He's turning into a werewolf.
I'm sorry. I briefly turned into a werewolf.
Oh, Joseph Scrimshaw, it is great to have you back. Tell everybody, we know why you have the bona fides to do this episode about horror, but why don't you tell all of the people of the world why you, Joseph Scrimshaw, have the bona fides to handle a horror clean slate?
Well, because I have spent the last 2.5 years of my life making a horror movie. So cool. I've been watching a lot of horror. I've always loved horror, but I've been watching more of it, and I have been immersed in it. I see blood when I close my eyes. It's great. It's a great way to live.
I've worked on a couple of your projects. I was in Nightmare Adorable, to name one. What drew you to horror? Somebody who's such like a comedy, like I associated you for so long knowing you with both comedy and Star Wars, Doctor Who, like more in the sci-fi fantasy realm, but you've always been a horror person as well. Like what drew you to that when it was time to really start getting into filmmaking?
Yeah, I think I always really liked horror. I saw the 1931 Dracula, like probably way too young at, a library on a Saturday afternoon. And then I kind of went away from horror for a little while and it didn't see any of the 80s slashers, but like my brother would describe them to me as like just something that some guy told him on the playground. So they were extra spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw the original Scream, and then that got me really into horror. And it was something I always liked as a fan. And then when I got to the point where I want to make my own movie, I was like, I don't have to make a comedy movie just because comedy is what I've done. Horror is really what's speaking to me. And I think it's speaking to a lot of people because it is a way to deal with the horrors of real life. And boy, there's a lot of horrors of real life to deal with. So it's just, I didn't think about it. It's just what I felt in my bones of these are the kind of stories I want to tell.
Why do you think that? Because this actually came up in a conversation just the other day. How many comedy people are making great horror movies right now? Like first, I mean, you look at Jordan Peele and you look at Get Out and everything that he's made, but then you also go to Obsession. That guy was making internet comedy before he made Obsession. You go and you look at Weapons. That guy was from The Whitest Kids You Know and was hilarious on that show. And why do you think that comedians, and you are hilarious, I should tell you, for those who don't know, you are a hilarious person. So what do you think is the connection? Where do those Venn diagrams cross?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like that real surface thing of the rhythms. I think the rhythms feel similar of the tension and the release. And there's this idea you want to get to, but it's not just a dramatic idea. It's like an idea that you want to speak in this specific language. And I think really good comedy is just like, I'm saying something serious. I'm just saying it in this language. Yeah. And I think horror is the same. It's like, I got this idea, but there's a language to say it in. And I think also like really, really good comedy to me is starting from a place of like, hey, something in the world really sucks. Let's try to have some power over it. Like, great jokes about death, honestly. Great jokes about, like, I got to go to a funeral, but if I can make myself laugh for a moment, I have power over death. And so much of horror is literally people trying to have a little bit of power over their own deaths. I think there's something about that idea in comedy and horror of let's start from the agreement that this sucks. This is awful. Now let's kind of try to do something about it.
Yeah. It also feels like there is a minute shift in perspective to turn the plot or just the log line of any horror film into the premise for a sketch or comedic film. Like, you know, I decided to sew together a bunch of dead body parts to make a new person. That could certainly, like, one of the most classic gothic horror stories and films has been done millions of times, but it's not far to find like a comedic twist on it. So there's something there also. Like, you're already thinking in terms of telling a story that's outside, not outside of plausibility, but something that's like a weird way to look at something that is maybe mundane or you wouldn't think of as like the feature of a horror story or a comedic sketch.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Yeah. Cause I think a lot of comedians talk about the like training yourself or naturally thinking of like every situation. Like, okay, I see red curtains. What's funny about red curtains? And I think horror people get it in their blood to do the same thing of like, what's scary about that?
Yeah. It's just the question is different. It's like, okay, look at this object. A comedy person goes, how can I make that funny? And a horror person goes, how can I kill someone with that?
Yes. A rubber chicken is very different depending on comedy or horror, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing is so many things change with one or two of the elements that you mentioned. I love that you mentioning that one of those connections is because of that, not just the rhythms are different and the language is different, but that both of those genres are free to and freely do use those elements as ways to tell a story. Like, you can watch Obsession with a different soundtrack and it's a terribly weird rom-com for the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just the idea that, what do you think for your movie? What element do you think glued it all together? Do you think it was the music? Do you think it was, like, if you had to pick one element of your horror movie?
Yeah, I think to me, the things that gelled it into the parts that are really scary and creepy are definitely the music, but also just the performance, just really working with actors to know like exactly what are you trying to communicate. And my film it's a horror movie and there is comedy in it, but unlike everything else I've ever done in my life, I never went out of my way to write a joke. I was just like, some funny things came out because that's the way this character would say that. And it was great to work with the actors and say, like, we're not on stage. There's not a quota of laughs. We both know this line is funny, but you do not need to sell it in any way, shape, or form. It's just true. And that was really fun because the line can be funny or it cannot be funny. And it's just true from the character's perspective.
That's so great.
Great. Well, speaking about what's true, that is the core of what we do here. We got this. And we have topics from our listeners. These are all horror-based topics. I believe Ken culled them from our Discord, which can be a scary place if you're not familiar with the technology. So,
Discord.
Ken, do you have our first topic? All right, Nixorbo. I thought it was Nixorbro.
I thought it was Nixorbo.
All right, Nixorbo asks, jump scare or creeping dread? Oh, man. I just want to say that I love doing this because I'm not a huge horror fan because I don't like jump scares, but I also don't like creeping dread.
I think a
but
jump
I will
scare
watch them and appreciate them.
Yeah.
Like, you like a jump scare, Mark?
I think a jump scare for me is for an audience. In a full theater, you get an audience reaction instantly, and then frequently you get the laugh right afterwards of that tension that was there getting burst. Like, you know what I mean? That it's very brief. It happens in a 1-2 punch of gasp plus laugh. As a comedy person, I very much enjoy an immediate gratification thing as opposed to 2 hours of, well, the dread in that really did build up. Gosh,
it was creeping.
It was amazing how much dread I felt for 2 hours straight rather than pop. Oh, you got me.
I'm generally going to go for creeping dread myself, but I think the best is when they're combined. I think like this question to me is like, what do you like, a drum roll or a cymbal crash? Like, well, I like a drum roll that ends with a cymbal crash.
Yeah.
I want creeping dread that is released by a jump scare.
Yeah. I like that a lot. There's a shot I think of. It's probably one of my favorite shots in all of film, just for how it's pulled off. And it's from House of 1,000 Corpses, which is, you would not think I was going to pull that out. But
no.
There's a scene where I think it's a sheriff is on his knees, like they're going to execute him. And the camera starts to pull away. It's on like a dolly or whatever it's on, like a jib arm, and it's pulling away, and it pulls back for, I want to say, at least a full minute. So you're sitting there watching, waiting. You know what's going to happen, but they make you wait for it. And that feeling, like a creeping dread when it pays off, whether it's a jump scare or just finally, like much like with comedy, you're building tension, releasing tension. as opposed to a jump scare where I'm just trying to watch the film and I'm getting invested and then damn it. Like every time I'm mad that I got scared, but also I scare easily. So I can't be that mad.
I love all these comedy analogies because, like, I think just a jump scare, the kind that sometimes people call cheap, is like if you had no setup at all to a joke.
Yeah.
You're just on stage. It's
all
like,
punchlines.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Like, what? There's no setup. Why is Cincinnati funny?
Yeah. Do you find in your dread getting released with a jump scare, do you as a director, do you err on the side of let it go on too long or surprise them on the early side?
I like to go on a little bit longer. My film is also about kind of feeling stuck in life, so it's nice to kind of build it and make people feel stuck and then release them with the jump scare.
Oh, so fun. Very excited. All right.
So we're gonna go
what are we
creeping
saying?
dread. It feels like you can't have a jump scare without creeping dread.
Right.
You can't have creeping dread without a jump scare. So creeping dread is probably better.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to vote for Creep and Dread.
And please don't hide around corners. I'm not interested.
No.
I won't punch you. I'll just run away and I will be crying. I have literally, and sometimes I wonder, am I the only person who does this? If I'm in a room by myself and I have to turn the light out, I move very quickly. Sometimes we'll run because I'm convinced that Killer Bob from Twin Peaks is going to hop out from, not even hop out, but he's going to like surface from behind the arm of a chair with that weird smile he has. And I just have to I'm like running upstairs going, he's an art director. He was an art director. They just caught him in a mirror and put him in the film. He's an actor. He's passed away. God rest his soul, but oh my God, he's fake. He's not coming to get me, right? I'm not going to go to the Black Lodge. Anyway.
Frank Silva was a very nice man. It's okay.
He was probably a sweetheart.
You got to feel bad for guys like that, or like Robert Englund walking down the street and somebody looks at him and is like, oh, I'm terrified of you. He's like, I'm a very nice man. I played Freddy Krueger for 20 years, but I'm a gentle giant. And the Phantom of the Opera in that one movie.
He'll always be the nice alien from V, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, there
he can
you
play
go.
sympathetic characters.
All right, what's next, Ken? Okay, Leslie T asks, creepy chords or uncomfortable silence? We're going with sound design here. All right.
Would Halloween be as scary without John Carpenter's piano riff?
No.
No.
Do you think that without adding, I mean, it wasn't written for Dracula, but without that, like there's so many iconic like pieces of horror music, even like using Red Right Hand in Scream, like I've watched all 7 of them. I think I watched 5 out of the 7 in a weekend. Just I was like, I gotta catch up on these. I've only seen the first 3. I just started burning through the rest of them. And like them bringing it back that song, that's like an iconic piece of music that ties it back to something. So I think there's room for both, but if you don't have the music, is it as scary?
I think it's a different kind of scary. I recently watched No Country for Old Men, which, famously has like almost no music. And that's tension, which I think is different because I think when you have no music, we've gotten so used to the music telling us how to feel. When there is no music, it feels like there's no God. There's no direction. What's going on? Nothing is telling me how to feel or what might be coming around the corner. So I think that's one feeling. But creepy is different. Creepy is almost more like we were talking about with the building dread of that, like almost like a sound you maybe not even aware you're listening to that you want to stop. Like those are my favorites when it's like, it's kind of a chord, but it's not, it sounds like a baby screaming.
Yeah.
It's been there for like 3 minutes.
I'm just noticing it because it's been getting slowly louder and louder.
Yeah, I think I kind of prefer that because I think that's more horror than just no sound. Because I think no sound is just tension. No sound is almost like socially awkward at a party. I'm like, is anybody going to talk?
That tension can be anything. So, the uncomfortable silence can be again, it keeps coming back to the 2, can be in a comedy. It can be the uncomfortable silence on an episode of The Office or the uncomfortable silence when the killer is standing across from the, final victim.
Exactly.
But yeah, creepy core, like we're talking about using all of the elements of movie style in this. Like it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
A violin alone playing the wrong parts of the strings and you can do all sorts of stuff. Like you can create dread just from that. You can have an iconic entrance or theme song. You can also create dread and make really weird sounds that would make Philip Glass go, that's too much.
Yeah. And it's amazing that the Halloween theme works so well. I mean, the John Carpenter's Halloween theme is amazing because it is both like creepy and discordant, but also just like a banger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sticks around. Like, it survives generation after generation. It's one of it probably has supplanted that. This is the music of horror. Because normally if you heard that music, you go like, somebody in a cape's about to try to hypnotize me and drink my neck.
No.
Yeah. I went to like a breakfast place, like a waffle place near me on like the day before Halloween, and they were just playing it on repeat. And it was really hard to just eat your waffles. Like,
wait, were they playing the entire track, or were they just every once in a while hitting you with
just like, a waffle jump scare? Yeah.
I want the dread. I don't want the jump scare when I have scrambled eggs on a fork.
No, it's just like it was the whole Michael Myers theme.
Yeah.
Like on a loop again and again and again.
Boy.
Like it's very good, but not conducive to eating waffles.
No, that's like torture. There you have it. Creepy chords.
Yeah.
It is. What is next, Ken? Swack asks, real life horror like Silence of the Lambs versus supernatural like It Follows and Babadook.
What do you think does it need a supernatural element to count as a horror movie?
I don't think so, but you'll get debate on that. Silence of the Lambs and Jaws often get described as horror movies, but you'll definitely have some uncomfortable silences at parties.
Right. Is it a thriller? Is it more of a thriller? Like that kind of thing?
Yes, the thriller line.
I mean, the great 1983 movie Microwave Massacre is not supernatural. It's just a weird old guy who chops up co-eds and cooks them in an old microwave and eats them. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
It interrupts his pacemaker and kills him.
So really, it's just a PSA about microwave safety.
Yes, the microwave is both an instrument of horror and the eventual hero of the film.
The cause and solution to all problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs is really interesting because it's so real world of like serial killers and FBI and Quantico. But there are plenty of slashers that, there's nothing supernatural about it. I mean, Halloween is sort of like, there's a fear. And that's, I think, especially that first one, it's like, it's unknown whether it's supernatural or not. And some people think it is, but you don't entirely know. But other slashers are like, oh, no, that's just an angry dude with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
The original Friday the 13th is you're led to believe is supernatural and then turns out to be a person and then turns out to be supernatural again. Like it really twists you around. But I also I like a little supernatural, but I like when I think it's scariest when when it feels real. And the Blair Witch Project, when it came out, like now it's sort of antiquated and kind of quaint, but at the time it was terrifying because of how real they made it feel. That's still like the ending of that still creeps me out.
Standing in the corner.
Yeah, because it preys on the urban legends and what you're afraid of. Like anything that preys on a fear or a sense of dread you might have when you're by yourself or in the woods or all of those things of what could happen, that it takes the games that your mind plays and goes, not only are they real, but they're worse than that.
Yeah. I think Blair Witch came out in a time where people had gotten really used to rules. I mean, Scream made all the jokes about the rules, but also especially for supernatural things of like, that's people's reactions when they watch a vampire movie or a zombie movie of like, we know way more than the characters do. And Blair Witch just robbed everybody of that of like, nobody knows anything. It's just a myth. They don't know if it's true. There are no rules. There's no go find the amulet in this tree and then you can stop the witch. I think for me with this question, that's kind of what it's about of like, how much comfort do you want from knowing rules or structure? And sometimes I think, non-supernatural can be scarier because it's just the real world and just anybody can do anything for any awful reason. And you maybe don't understand why. But I think a really good supernatural horror story still taps into the unknown and gets past the like, we know all 17 rules about vampires, so which ones apply in this movie? If you can get rid of the rules a little bit, then you get back into that unexpected.
I like there being just something supernatural about it. Like, Hal, you mentioned before, like, that thing that you fear, it's real, and it's even worse than you imagined. If that is the case, then a true life, true style, like, non-supernatural horror movie is just going to scare me. And if your job is to just scare me, great, then I'll be scared and I'll be sufficiently terrified at this. But I think a horror movie, in my opinion, I would like a horror movie to do something a little more than that. And I would like that supernatural element so that if the fear that I have that like, you know what, that fear is real and it's even worse than you imagined is a monster and not humanity itself. That's just terrifying and depressing. The other one is enticing and spooky and fun and makes me want to eat popcorn and sit in a dark movie theater until I get to see what the monster looks like.
Mark convinced my vote with the D word, is that I think the real life can be depressing. Do you guys know the movie Targets? It's like late 1960s.
No.
Basically, it stars Boris Karloff is an old horror guy who was in spooky horror movies like he was. But then the actual horror of the movie ends up just being like a random shooter who's shooting people for no reason.
Oh,
and
Lord.
It's this mashup between like the old horror, spooky gothic and the terror of humans just doing awful crap for unknown reasons. And it's a great movie, but depressing. So yeah, I think I lean a little bit more supernatural.
Yeah, I don't need to be sad. Make it supernatural. Throw a vampire there. But by the way, the one rule that they never include in the movies is that music has to play whenever a vampire's nearby. That's because if they included all, the people would know to run away. They would hear like, and they go, get out of here.
Where is everybody always gone by the time the lick is done playing?
Don't invite him in. Yeah, I've got it here on my iPod mini.
I should stop. You know what? I'm going to switch to the next song. Where's that U2 album? I'm going to put that U2 album on.
Yeah.
Why is this the only other thing on my iPod?
Oh, wait, look, 2 episodes of The Office, season 2.
Oh, yes.
I was going to leave the club with this very, very pasty woman, but then the lick played, and I knew.
Oh, yeah. You got to watch out. That lick is a real vamp dar.
Yeah.
All right. What's next, Ken? Okay. Horror movie. This is great. Super simple. Leslie T. Black and white or color?
Ooh.
What do you think, Joseph?
I like black and white because I really like the Universal horror movies. I like the creepy gothic. I'm trying to think of a more modern black and white horror movie.
Was that black and white?
No, it was in color.
No.
It was in your motions. It felt black and white.
The Babadook is in black and white.
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Oh, it's really
Is
good.
it black and white? I'm not interested. It's scary.
It's very scary.
What? Yeah, I thought
Babadook looks scary.
Well, it is. You should see it.
No, I don't.
But it's a fun monster scary. It's just an allegory for something. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you. It's just an allegory.
It's just an allegory. It can't hurt
I'm
you.
scared of allegories too. They hide in your toilet.
Oh no, you're thinking. We might be thinking of something else.
Oh wait,
yeah.
that's what
Yeah, you're thinking
allegory.
of crocogories. That's what you're thinking of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I feel safer now.
Stub your nose.
And you have a lick that plays every time you're near a toilet, so you know, right?
Yeah, it's actually the
Safe.
beginning of Power of Love.
Toilet's coming. Gotta go. That's hilarious. But color, I mean, come on, blood.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
You can get it nice and shiny in black and white, but it's not the same.
No, I think that if, the classic Universal horror filmmakers could have worked in color, they would have.
Mm-hmm.
They would have painted in blood pretty spectacularly, I imagine. I also am a huge fan of those movies. So though, when I think of horror movies, I think of the classics a lot of times. And there's something great about that. I guess part of it with this question, it becomes, or an element of it could be, how much do you show? How much do you want to show? Because once you add color and blood, then it becomes gore and seeing it versus spooky and not seeing it, or it can. It opens that door to being able to see more of it. And I'm generally more of a keep me in the dark. The thing I can't see will be scarier than the thing, way scarier than anything you can actually show me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, but it's not dependent on whether it's colorized or not. That's really
true.
Just what is the filmmaking choice. So I think the scariest movie of all time is The Exorcist. That still, I think, is the most frightening, and that was shot in color. I don't think it being in black and white would make much of a difference.
No, I want it shot in 4D. Like the Shrek ride movie or any of those that they squirt things at you.
Water?
Yeah, when she does the blah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get a little mist in the face.
Yeah,
Just
a little pea
mist.
soup smell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
When the bed is shaking, the little knobs push on your eyes. Whoa!
If Exorcist
She
had
goes
always
skittering
been,
across. Ooh.
if it had always been in black and white, what color do you think the vomit would be in your mind? We'd all get to make up our house, we wouldn't know that it's green.
Yeah.
Oh, bright. I want it to be unnatural. I want it to be like French's mustard yellow. Or like Chicago neon relish. You're like, Jesus.
Yeah. I want all sorts of neon colors, like a Lisa Frank painting exploded out of that girl.
Why do I want now to see the Lisa Frank Exorcist folder? There's got to be one, right?
Yeah, they have it at Walmart.
Stairs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Crab walking like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Clippity cop, clippity cop, clippity cop, clippity cop.
So is it color?
I think, yeah.
I think so. Because
as much as we appreciate black and white.
I think great points that the mood that you can accomplish in black and white, you can still accomplish. Because I briefly thought, like, wait, is Exorcist black and white? No, it's my emotions that are in black and white. So color it is.
I hope that we get you a full color wheel of emotions by the end of this, and that it.
What's the Pantone for your emotional?
Like I can get a little blue,
The brand kit for your emotions. What does it look like? Ken, what is next? Nick Sorbo asks. Nick Sorbo, same person from before. Psychological terror or over the top gore. And we've moved to an era. We've sort of moved through it, but it also, like, now the amount of gore that you see makes what we had in the 80s, which there was plenty of gore then. That was really, like, I guess you could say it started with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just the high level of blood and guts. And then when the slasher film came back in the 80s with Friday the 13th, it became more and more pronounced. And now, like, with torture porn, and it's just like, how gross and explicit can it be? Do you think we've gone too far, Joseph, with how much we show? Like, is it better to have more the terror of the mind is scarier than an eyeball rolling down the street?
For me, I like the more of the creepy and the implied and seeing some gore and viscera. And I think it's about the story you want to tell. It's so, I have friends who are like, give me as much gore as you want. And I think there are two things going on. One, like you said, Hal, it's an escalation game. So it's almost more like this game of like, can you take it? Of like, we've evolved now to the point where like, well, look, if they're not pulling the eyeball out with the spork for 15 minutes, it's what a weak film. There's, I think for people who love it, there's a game to it of how big can you go? How absurd can you go? But I also feel like people who love body horror in particular are working through things for themselves of like, there's some reason that body horror speaks to them. But not for me. Like, there's I'm not good with knees and my wife is not good with head injuries. And we're both like, do whatever you want to arms, fingers, abdomens. But we're both watching a movie like, this is great. We're enjoying it. And then like the head bashing starts. I'm like, I'll tell you when it's over, sweetie. Oof. And anything starts happening too violent to a knee, my wife's like, I'll tell you when that's over, honey.
Man. I just watched a movie with a head bashing scene. I don't want to tell, because there's some movies that, that are in the zeitgeist, but I watched a movie with a head bashing scene and the head bashing scene happens in the dark and it is very scary. It's in the dark, silhouetted head bashing scene. And then the scene continues on. And then for no reason, it cuts to a shot of the well lit shot of the smushed up face. And I'm like, I did not need the gratuitous shot of the smushed up face, unless I had also seen gratuitous smushed up face gore action in a movie called, honey, what was the name of that movie? Monkey something?
Monkey Bone?
It was like, we saw this movie. It's the little monkey that you like that winds up.
Yes. Clappy Monkey. That's not the monkey. I think that's the name of it. Yes, but with the symbols.
Yeah, the monkey with the
one
symbols.
That I think is by Stephen King, but probably is not actually by Stephen King.
Isn't it on a Stephen King book cover?
And it's got the symbols that, it's doing it.
It's one of those monkeys. But anyway, it's a comedy. And it works. Gore works in a comedy because gore is hilarious when done in a comedy horror movie. You've got Tucker and Dale. You've got lots of great horror comedies. Even Gremlins and a Gremlin in the Microwave is funny because it's over the top and gross. But in like an actual horror movie, I don't know. I feel like the job, like you were saying, Joseph, is what you don't show me. The job is let me scare the hell out of myself with what I think it is.
Yeah. And like I said, sometimes I don't do well with, body horror, particularly if it is like, it's supposed to be kind of torture porny. That's the point of the film. Like, I'm not going to be mad at the film for being what it is, but sometimes like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, I'm not renting Terrifier.
Yeah. So a bunch of people told me about the film Barbarian. Like, it's really good, but it's so violent. And it's like, okay, but it sounds so cool. I'm going to give it a try. And there's not much graphic violence at all. And somehow that film made people feel like there's a bunch of graphic violence. And there's only a couple of like big squelches, but it's incredibly great tension that makes you feel every moment that you're going to see a smashed up face. But you don't actually see that many smashed up faces. And I really appreciate the art of that, of give me the horror without necessarily showing as much to me.
That is a great compliment to a horror movie, is the world thinks the movie was gorier than it was.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So the psychological terror, what you can't see is it does more to build the terror than just make people want to throw up in a movie theater, which, you know.
So I vote for a monkey with cymbals.
Yeah, monkey with cymbals all day.
Man, that monkey with cymbals did some damage to some people in that movie. Ooh, he did some damage. Yeah. Fun movie, though. All right. What's next, Ken? All right. What's creepier? Creepy dolls or creepy kids?
I'm going to go dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because here's the thing.
Oh, sorry. Swack asks this. Thank you, Swack.
Dolls are even shorter than kids.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest tensions I can have in a horror movie is anything going to happen to an Achilles tendon? Oof. And with dolls, it almost always does. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I got to admit, it really works. It's like, as soon as it's a creepy doll, like, they're going to do something to the back of a leg. Yeah. And like, granted, a kid could get lower and do that, but I love Child's Play. Child's Play is one of my favorites.
It's pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been done a lot now, but that subversion of something that we brought into our homes and in our lives to give us comfort, becoming something that is not comforting, is pretty powerful.
Yeah. I think outside of that particular franchise, too, outside of Child's Play and the Chucky movies, that's the one where the creepy doll is the villain. I think for me, it's also creepy dolls, but because creepy kids are the villain. You know what I mean? Like, you've got creepy kids, you've got Children of the Corn. The creepy kids are the villain. I know what I'm dealing with creepy kids. If there are creepy dolls, those are a harbinger. Those are a canary in the coal mine. That means that some scarier, deadlier force or monster is out there who has a thing for these dolls, and for whatever reason. But like the creepy kids, you could be like, this is boss level. If you get to creepy dolls, you're like, this ain't over. This ain't over. This ain't ending at creepy dolls.
Yes. What is animating them? Yeah. There's some bigger evil or some human evil behind it. Yeah. Hal, what do you think? Do you like creepy kids? Are you always going around going, hey, I love creepy kids?
You know, that's what people know about me. Two things I love are gorillas, silverback gorillas, and creepy kids. I think a doll is scarier because it's not supposed to move around and cause chaos, and children are. You know, they're exploring the world, and you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. But when you walk past a doll, those little dolls, and all of a sudden they do the head shift, independent, that's real scary. Like, oh, that doll's going to choke somebody out. It's real small, so I don't know how it's going to do it. But not only can they get the Achilles tendon, because that's right at like arm level for them, but they'll climb up and jump off of things too. You don't know where they're going to go. You wonder how they're on the cabinet.
They're on the top rope always. Yeah.
How in the world are they scaling to that incredible height? I want the free solo of the haunted doll climbing up a bunch of cabinets to attack somebody. That's the movie I need to see.
The creepy doll training montage. Like, before I awake and terrorize his family, I really got to get my reps in.
Hal, you pointed out too that little kids are supposed to be rambunctious. Yeah. And it dawns on me, the only time we're ever scared of children in a movie is when they're behaving.
Yeah. They're just real quiet.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to say. They're not asking questions. They're not asking me to look at them.
No. Yes.
They're not offering information.
Ma'am. No, ma'am.
Something's happening. Or nothing. They just sit there and sort of stare.
Yeah. Even those kids in weapons, you know what they're doing that makes them creepy? Following directions in the middle of the night.
Running weird. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got a whole franchise with creepy doll ninja warrior that's not even being exploited for how they're getting to different places. I want to see those things go up a warped wall.
Yeah, I think it's back to that real world thing of like thinking about like The Omen, which in theory should be like a classic creepy kid, you know, but really the tragedy of that film is not great parenting. Like,
yeah, right?
It's all for you, Damien. Like, well, that's just bad parenting. You need to give Damien some limits.
Damien needs boundaries.
Damien needs boundaries.
Yeah.
That's what the movie should have been called. Damien needs boundaries.
Damien needs boundaries.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Also, Damien, it's the kids that behave. And look how put together Damien is. That kid tucks his shirt in. You know who I'm not scared of? The sloppy kid. I'm not scared of the sloppy kid. I'm scared of the kid that has all of his buttons buttoned up to the top and his shirt tucked in and his hair combed and a death stare.
That's why Boss Baby is the most frightening film ever made.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. That baby knows how to go to a tailor.
Yeah.
He goes to
I saw
site
that
of war.
in the comedy section. Can you believe it?
That's wrong. Just wrong.
All right. So what are we saying? It's creepy dolls?
Creepy dolls.
I'm all in on creepy dolls.
Creepy dolls are creepier.
We're on the ground floor on creepy dolls. To the moon. What's next, Ken? Coffee Bruin asks, Bela Lugosi or Boris Karloff? Now, Joseph, you love the Universal monsters. Now you have to choose between one of the two of them.
Yeah. I'm just going to go hard. I'm a Bela Lugosi guy. I walked by his star on Hollywood Boulevard because I live relatively near it. And I say hello to him every time. His star is on a street that I want to hear Bela Lugosi say. His star is on Hollywood and Ivar. It's so great to imagine him going, my star is on Ivar. Yeah, I think part of it is just a little bit of the, there's an element of rooting for the underdog because, you know, he had a harder run and he had, you know, some success and all that. But like that 1931 Dracula, as a lot of people will say, it's not Todd Browning's best film. There's some weird choices. There's some weird edits. There's a kind of a dip in the middle. It's still like one of my very favorite horror films because of Bela Lugosi, because with just nothing but his eyes and his fingers, he communicates this sort of, I am compelled to do something to these victims that is at once terrifying, sexual, hypnotic. It's just, there's so much of the vampire lore and everything that we wrestle with in it of it's about sex, it's about power, it's about not a creepy old man wanting to steal someone else's youth. Yeah. Which is very relatable. And he gets all of that just from the eyes and the fingers and just going all in. I think there's a reason that his performance in that film is just sort of culturally defining for decades upon decades upon decades.
And he made it sexy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he is compelled to do these things, but people are compelled to come into his orbit. You know what I mean? He's such a magnet in that movie. It's such an amazing performance. I wonder, though, if we're going Karloff versus Lugosi, does Bela Lugosi get dinged a little for being strictly vampire? Because Boris Karloff was also, he doubled up on his Universal monsters.
Yeah.
He was Frankenstein's monster and he was the Mummy.
Bela played Frankenstein's monster in one film. Mm-hmm. He got hosed because they were supposed to clarify that Frankenstein's monster was blind because he had been blinded in the previous film. So he was bumbling around and everybody thought it was a bad performance, but he was trying to communicate.
Wait, I didn't know Bela Lugosi played the creature.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which thing. I think it's Ghost of, but I could be wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, and he plays a wandering soul in the Wolfman film. Does a great job with that. It's a small part. So, yeah, he does. I mean, Boris Karloff is like, this is a pro Bela Lugosi argument, not an anti Boris Karloff argument. Sure. Because, yes, he's an amazing physical performer. And I'm sure everything loving thing I said about Bela, people have their list of what Boris did in that, in the Frankenstein role and the Mummy role. And the Mummy's fantastic. So, yeah.
The shot of him in his Frankenstein makeup sipping tea is one of my favorite old Hollywood photos.
It's just gorgeous. It's beautiful. So perfect.
Yeah. Just this gentle giant.
They both have horrifically embarrassing stuff from later in their career. There's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Also, Boris Karloff hosted an anthology series called The Veil that is, I think it was meant to be like, this is the horror version of Twilight Zone. He clearly is like, you can almost see him looking off camera while he's speaking to see who has the check for him when he's done.
And just slowly signing it over the course of an intro.
It has one of the weirdest lines I've encountered in a television series, which is he's either like a captain or runs a lighthouse, and he's talking to his wife. He's like a dour man, and he yells at her when he's leaving. She's like, "When will you be home?" And he says, "Expect me when you see me," and then leaves. That's what he says. Which is a weird, I guess it's a weird, you could say, "I'll be home when I get home." But instead he said, "Expect me when you see me," which feels like the same thing, but also in a weird way does not track at all.
It also feels somehow smarter and dumber.
He's like, "Oh, that's deep." No, wait, I think that text auto-corrected.
Anyway, I smell toast. I'll be back later. And Plan 9 from Outer Space has become a cult classic for how bad it is. So it sort of, he was immortalized in an Academy Award-winning performance by Martin Landau.
Yeah.
Pull the strings.
Boy, Martin Landau as him was great.
Hal, do you have a strong preference between these two gentlemen?
I would go Bela Lugosi, although I appreciate both of them for the work that they did that is great, and even more so the work they did that is not, because I love a bad movie and a weird shelved series that nobody ever saw. I have the DVD. I have a DVD of The Veil that I bought, so we could do a viewing party at some point. I'm sure the episodes are online too. They are astonishingly bad. It's like they're just, what if there was a horror series where nothing happens?
Just all mood. I really want you to have this party, because when you invite me, I'm going to text you back. Expect me when you see me.
That's what I'll know. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Bela Lugosi asked and answered all day. Guy was a great, they were both great stage actors, but like what he brought to Dracula, I don't know that it would have persisted as a pop culture phenomenon without his performance.
No, the Spanish language version of Dracula that they shot at the same time is like, there's so much about it that's better, but it's got this big Bela hole in the center of it.
Yeah. Interesting, because I'd heard a lot of people say that about that Spanish version, that they shot at night while the other one was getting filmed, that it is a superior movie.
Oh yeah, the camera movements and like some of the rest of the cast makes it sexier.
But they don't have Bela Lugosi.
They don't have Bela Lugosi. The other gentleman is just fine, but it's not Bela.
Yeah. All right. Well, here is our final question. Nick Sorbo asks, watch horror movies by yourself with the lights off or in a dark theater with other people?
Which is better? They're both such good experiences. The last horror movie I saw in a theater, because I've been busy finishing my horror movie, so I haven't seen Backrooms or Obsession yet, which I'm very excited to. But I saw Scream 7. I was in Durham, North Carolina, and it was a very, very chatty audience, which at parts was extremely fun. Some of the classic horror movies, sort of like, "Don't go in there. What are you doing, you idiot?"
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. But then there was just some like, "I'm a little bored, so let's talk about what we're going to do next Tuesday" kind of chatter, which did not add to the horror for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I just watched the movie Pressure, the one about where Andrew Scott plays one of the meteorologists that helps decide the day for the D-Day invasion, like the Operation Overlord movie. And I'm by far the youngest person in the theater. This is the afternoon on like a Saturday.
This is the Brendan Fraser's
Eisenhower. Yeah. And the couple next to me at a certain point, they were having a conversation trying to figure out who Damian Lewis was. I was like, do I lean over and go, "That's Damian Lewis," in like a not mean way to make them stop talking? Or if I do that, are they going to go, "Well, that was very rude. He's not part of our conversation. I wasn't asking him." So I kind of prefer watching at home. I think it's a little creepier. My favorite way to watch it is a fully lit room on the treadmill at the gym.
Oh my God.
Where no one can get me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would say ultimately with other people, if everybody is engaged with the film. My wife is only so on horror movies. So Halloween comes around and I really want to watch horror movies and I got to pick very carefully. So I end up watching a lot of horror movies alone. And I think when I watch them alone, I actually don't get as scared because I have kind of the room and the space to intellectualize them, to be like, I'll just be thinking my little thoughts and I can, if there's a line that's like, "Ooh, that's an interesting theme," I can pause and think about the theme, which I do.
Yeah.
Or even like make a little note about it, something I liked about it. So I think I get more captured when you're with a great audience and you're all in on the tension and with, a really great modern sound mix when it's coming at you from different angles, and that can be so effective when the whole audience feels like, was that it? What? That sound didn't sound like it was coming from the movie. It sounded like that door opened to our right, and it's the theater manager, and he's going to stab us.
Yeah, it's what we started with. It's using all of the elements that you have at your disposal to tell a story. And if you've got the lighting abilities and that's a thing for me is because it's such a dark room that if the screen goes completely black and then there's a bright flash, that whole room full of people that you are in gets that jump scare at the same time. Or there's a moment in the movie where something is happening in the black and you're on a treadmill at the gym in a fully lit room. You're not going to see the subtlety between the absolute pitch black areas of the screen and the slightly lighter areas of the screen where the monster is making their way through. And also because if I'm going to see a monster, I'd like to see him on a 20-foot screen. Why not?
Yeah. In any horror movie, Hal, that has heavy breathing is not going to be scary at the gym.
That's all heavy breathing.
It's all heavy breathing. Where's
now
that coming from?
Now you're catching on to my game. How can I make a horror film as unscary as possible?
The call is coming from Gold's Gym.
You can almost hear their screams. Come on, one more set.
Oh, God.
Let's go. Be strong.
They do know my nightmares.
And then the beast said, see you in the locker room.
Old crotches coming soon to a locker room near you.
Old crotches.
I think I'll sit here and read the paper. There are so many old people who are happy to show off what
Old
they got
crotches.
going on. Like, it's not even putting a show, just like, well, it's a good time to sit and have a full conversation while we're both naked. And like, can we all get dressed?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that uncomfortable with it, but it also just seems kind of weird. Maybe it's because I'm not an ancient Roman or Greek. It was more normal then.
Yeah.
That's what the movies tell me. They're always making them big decisions. At the gym.
At the gym. Naked.
Old crotches once ruled Rome.
Oh, that is my new least favorite combo of two words.
It's really awful.
When will the days of the old crotches come to an end?
Now, what's that an allegory for? It's not really an allegory. It's just,
I'm just scared
old
of allegories.
Oh.
Again, they hide in your toilet right next to the crocodiles. In Australia, it's allegories, oddly. They make their way over there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. See you later, allegory. After a while, crocodile. That was our last topic for this
Crocodiles.
show.
That's what's going on in those locker rooms.
Crocodiles.
Yeah, the crocodiles are out.
Oh, no. Oh. Coming this summer.
Don't put the towel around your shoulders.
No, wrap it around your waist.
Yeah.
if you thought crocodile was scary, you're going to lose your mind at crocodiles, plural.
Now there's more than one. Always two there are. A master and an apprentice. Crocodiles. Anyway, movie theater.
Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Go to a movie theater. Watch your movies in movie theaters. Joseph, where can people watch your movie?
Yeah. So the film's called Dead Media. It is about a troubled young woman who just wants to watch a horror movie on streaming to get over her problems. But her aging Gen X uncle comes over and demands to watch it on a DVD. And the DVD turns out to be haunted, and horror and generational trauma ensue. The film is being released by a great new company called Antenna Releasing. And as this episode is dropping, we are taking it around on a road show. So it'll be a screening with intros and Q&As. It's going to be playing in Los Angeles, Pacific Northwest, a few dates on the East Coast, and then Midwest, wrapping up August 18th in Minneapolis, where we filmed the film. And you can find all the info about it on antennareleasing.com/films/dead media.
Dead Media. We're so excited to see this. We're so excited to have you here and have you back. And it's just good to see you. And thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely. It's so great to just hang out with you guys. And then just and we recorded a podcast too. That's awesome.
Oh, we didn't record. I don't think we recorded.
No, we're not recording this. It's just for us.
All right. Great. Let's remember the crocodile spit when we record.
Yeah. We'll work it in. Don't worry. Thank you so much, Joseph. Again, Dead Media is the movie. We'll put the link out so everybody knows where to go. It'll be in the episode description. And people can follow you at Joseph Scrimshaw, right?
All the places.
social media.
Yeah, all the places except X. All the places. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, we're not posted there anymore.
Go find Joseph Scrimshaw if you don't already know him. You are in for a treat. These topics are closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or
find us on the social media. We're at We Got This Podcast, with the exception of Instagram, where we are at We Got This Show. Our Discord is where we are getting suggestions like these. You can be part of that by going to bit.ly/WGT Discord. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will watch me try and fail to make Mark grossed out by weird foods that I send him, and and where you'll see me trying foods that probably I do gross out at because they're not tan. And also, if you enjoy this show and you've not yet supported us by becoming a Max Fun member, you can do that at any time by going to MaximumFun.org/joinWGT. That's how to make sure that we are benefiting directly from your membership. It is $5 a month or $60 a year, whatever's more comfortable for you. And you get access to a wide library of bonus content that we've put out over the years and every other show has put out over the years. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, with whom we would gladly sit in a darkened, terrifying theater, or on the couch under a blanket with the lights off, or out at the treadmill at the gym with all the lights on.
I would.
We just want to express how much we thank you, how much we love spending time with all of the people of the world, how much we really cherish and appreciate that you are the most fun and kind place to argue on the internet. So thank you for being that. Yeah, thanks for giving us this show. Thanks for giving us this opportunity every week. We wouldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. And if you are wondering when you are going to hear us again, you know what? Expect us when you see us.
Or hear us.
Yeah. Expect us when you hear us. And to you, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
Hi, my name is Bria Grant, and I host Reading Glasses and Reading Smut, and I'm here with Max Fun Member of the Month, Nick Roy.
Thank you so much.
What episode would you recommend to a new listener who's just jumping in for the first time?
Definitely the one where it's like, let's talk about reading glasses. Because as someone who started listening, 7 years in, I was like, oh, that's why we say that.
Oh my God, Mallory's gonna love that you said that, because she really was like, we gotta tell people more about ourselves. I'm like, we just talk about ourselves every week. What would you say to other people who are considering supporting Maximum Fun shows?
I would say if you want to keep listening to content that you enjoy and you want to support the creators, oh no, I just won't get a Starbucks once a week and I give you guys $10 a month. Sounds good to me.
I love that. And listen to Nick. Nick's a librarian. He knows what he's talking about, so.
Support the shows you love, including this one. Check the show notes for a link or go to MaximumFun.org/join.
Howdy there. So sorry to interrupt whatever amazing show you were listening to, but it's time for an ad. I'll be so quick and get you back to your show, don't worry. I'm host Austin, one half of a podcast called Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries that I make with my good friend Brenda. We talk about the pop culture stuff you like Thundercats and Yu-Gi-Oh! Did you know that the Thundercats are cousins with Farrah Fawcett? Or that Yu-Gi-Oh! Once caused a riot? You probably want to know more. You can find us at Maximum Fun or wherever you get podcasts every single Tuesday.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.